Hello, hello, welcome back. We've said a lot about healing here on this video series, especially lately, and we'll say quite a bit more, starting with today, because healing is simpler than it looks. It's simpler than we make it out to be here in the world. And that is going to be the theme of our conversation today. So thank you, as always, for joining me, and especially, most definitely, especially thank you for your commitment, your dedication to your practice, whatever that looks like. That's the highest form of offering that anyone can ever give, is practice, commitment, and dedication to doing just that. So we've arrived here at the tail end of chapter 2, part 5 of the text of the course, and we're looking at the final two special principles of miracle workers. We're on paragraphs 17 and 18, and we're going to spend the majority of time talking about the italicized portion of paragraph 18. And you can follow along. If you have a physical copy of the course book, you can follow along there, or you can certainly look at this information online because it's readily available. So, paragraph 17, just very quickly, Jesus reassures us that time is under his direction and timelessness. In other words, eternity belongs to God. Time is under Jesus's direction because, as we've recently seen right here in this section of the text, when we perform miracles, he will adjust time and space for us. Jesus will adjust time and space for us. And how that practically works out is, if you take the opportunity to learn a forgiveness lesson, you don't have to repeat it. It's kind of like being in school. Pass a course, you don't have to repeat it. It's the same idea. So therefore, time is effectively shortened. How exactly, how much exactly, that's something we don't even have to think about. It's not under our control. So we don't know when we forgive somebody or a situation here in this lifetime if we've saved 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years. We don't really know. Or maybe we've only saved 15 seconds of time. We can't know that. And it's not our job to even worry about that. That is under the guidance of our inner teacher. That's under the control of our inner teacher. So that's how that works. And again, anything that we experience in the world that is uncomfortable or troubling, that provokes in us discomfort of any kind, is an opportunity for forgiveness. So we bring our present moment awareness to the table and recognize these opportunities. Then it's up to us to forgive. Because we always have a choice in the present moment. We most certainly can choose to run and hide, and we can rest assured that that same forgiveness opportunity is going to present itself again. Maybe in just a couple of minutes, maybe not for quite some time, but you can rest assured that it will present itself again in different formats, perhaps. Perhaps it will get your attention in a different way. And it will keep doing that until you take the opportunity to learn. And this is true of all of us, all of us. So let's talk about why healing is simpler than it looks. We make a lot of it. Understand, of course, that we're talking about A Course in Miracles. We're talking about pure non-duality. We're not talking about a thought system that aims to produce substantive, tangible, measurable, quantifiable change in the world. So this course doesn't concern itself with the physical world at all. It concerns itself with mind, the mind. That's where we heal. That's where we heal. Now, the physical body may follow that. It may well follow that, but it's not the single end-all, be-all purpose. Now, here in the world, it often is, and healing, of course, can be seen in the world as healing the mind as well. But we often complicate things. That may be the biggest understatement that anyone could ever utter. That we sometimes overcomplicate things. How about we always overcomplicate them? Truth is simple. God is. That's it. What's implicit in that is very important. Nothing else is. The world, right? Physical bodies, it's not who we are. So just because it's simple does not mean that we readily grasp that, does it? It doesn't mean that we find it easy to practice. And this is why A Course in Miracles exists. This is why we have spiritual traditions of any kind and variety, no matter what it is. It's because we need to train our mind. Jesus makes it very clear this is a course in mind training. That's where healing takes place. And the reason it's simpler than we make it out to be is because we're not in control. We're not doing the healing. We're not in charge of it, and we don't have to concern ourselves with degrees of healing at all. We don't have to concern ourselves with how it's working, how effective it is, and how quickly people are going to see tangible results in the physical world, things that we can wrap our intellectual minds around and quantify like data. We don't have to concern ourselves with any of that. Our inner teacher is the healer, and the italicized portion of paragraph 18 is very important. So in any situation, calling for help, in other words, calling for healing, for forgiveness, we would do very well to keep in mind the words that appear here in italics. I'm here only to be truly helpful. Truly helpful. I'm here to represent him who sent me, your inner teacher, Jesus, the Holy Spirit. There's no difference between the two of those, by the way. So your guide or guides, if you're following different spiritual traditions, right? You're here to represent him who sent you. Yeah. And you don't have to worry. This is italicized. I don't have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. The Holy Spirit will direct me. One of the most powerful prayers that you can ever utter is to ask your inner teacher, ask the Holy Spirit to direct your forgiveness. Yes, get the ego out of the way completely. It doesn't heal. It's not capable of healing. It's nothing. It doesn't do anything at all. The Holy Spirit does the healing. We're allowing our inner teacher to perform healing. And the italicized language continues, I'm content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. Of course, your inner teacher goes there with you. Inner teacher. The Holy Spirit is part of you, not the physical body, you. It's not your eyebrows or your forehead or your shoulder or your kneecap. That's not what we're talking about. The Holy Spirit is that part of your mind that you could call and is truly your higher self, S, capital S, self. The Holy Spirit is part of you. So you're listening to your higher self. When you set aside all of your expectations and say to your inner teacher, please direct my forgiveness, you're in fact calling on a part of yourself that we're invited and encouraged here in this thought system to get in touch with. Now, the last sentence of the italicized language is very poignant. It's very important. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. Because as we are taught to heal, as we allow our inner teacher to teach us to heal, we're healing ourselves. Because as we forgive our brother, we're forgiving ourselves. Because there's no separation of any kind, period. Your brother is you. Not the physical body, but we're not physical bodies. So as we get out of our own way and allow our inner teacher to run the show, we are healed in the process. As we allow the Holy Spirit to direct our forgiveness and we bring our little willingness to forgive whatever appears in our life, we heal. And it's not the ego that's doing the healing. We're not in charge of that. The Holy Spirit is in charge of that. That's why healing is simpler than it looks. In order to heal, get out of your own way. There are a number of world spiritual traditions that talk about getting out of our own way. This is what we mean. It means we think we can run the whole show here in the world. Rugged individualism, me against the world, and everybody else can go straight to hell. That's a prevailing attitude worldwide. It doesn't matter where you're from. When we identify with the ego, we want to do everything ourselves. And it's no wonder that we end up confused and frustrated and depressed, angry, isolated, lonely, feeling awful. I mean, you name it. Our work here is to allow our inner teacher to take control, to direct our forgiveness, to direct your spiritual practice. This is powerful because in asking your inner teacher to run the show, in asking your inner teacher to direct you, you're setting the ego aside. That's a way of setting aside the ego, which thinks it can run the show all by itself. Can't run anything. Which is why we appear to find ourselves so lost sometimes in the world. I invite you to give your entire experience over to your inner teacher and allow your inner teacher to direct you. Our job here on the spiritual path is to do this and to relax and trust. Remember, the trust in the strength of your inner teacher is a key component of the attitude of true forgiveness. That is what this course is all about. So it's about getting out of our own way, and happily for us, it's simpler than we imagine. We just give it all over to our inner teacher. And I do mean all of it. Everything. And relax and trust that you will be shown exactly what to do, exactly who to speak to, exactly where to go, exactly what to say, exactly how to forgive what appears in your experience. All of that. Yes. That's my concluding word. Just yes. The subscription button is right down here. Please feel welcome to join me. I'd love to have you hit that red arrow to subscribe to this channel. And please continue to practice. I welcome your comments and questions here on YouTube. So thank you, as always, for joining me. And I will talk to you all very, very soon.